yeah, I've got a range of genres. There are 3 extra books, 2 math books, advanced calculus and integration, and then there was The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Oh, Evelyn. That book, if you read, you would know it. That one. They're with a friend, so I don't have them with me at the moment. But aside from that, I will run you through the whole. All of these books are from a charity. That the idea is that any books that you don't need anymore because you can't keep buying books and people don't seem to use library slots. The idea is that you buy these books for very small prices, so you give them to the company for free. Just donate them, and then whatever the book is, our volunteers go through it and mark them like I think usually $8, but like they can be really, really good books for very cheap, and that's what's so good. So I've done 2 of these. This is part 2 in the series. But yes, this is a very exciting little book haul. There's a range of genres. And without further ado, let's begin. There will be some soft speaking in today's video as a warning. René Descartes' Discourse on Methods and the Meditations. This is a Penguin classic and $3. And the back reads, although Descartes' great ambition to be the Aristotle of the modern world was never realized, the philosophical problems he investigated are still burning issues, and the spirit in which he pursued his quest opened the doors to the development of modern sciences. The Discourse, 1637, is the exposition of the famous method by which he attempted to apply mathematical methods to, and thus to find mathematical certainties in all fields of human inquiry. Starting from universal doubt, he passes via the celebrated cogito ergo sum, I think therefore I am, to the certainty of the existence of God, and hence of the reality of created nature. But I'm going away very soon, so I will devour this on the plane. That one's done. Okay, now we'll do a modern book. These typically cost the most. Okay, this one is The Hating Game. By Sally Thorne. Okay. He's the one she loves to hate. Okay. This was $6. Right? The most expensive. Nemesis, a long-standing rival. It's a cool definition. An archenemy, a person's undoing. Joshua Templeman. Lucy Hutton, baker of cakes, charming assistant and professional nice girl, is waging war. She's got the whole office on her side except for tall, dark, charmless Joshua Templeman. He's been nothing but hostile since the moment they met, and now it feels like nothing matters, as much as taking him down. Trapped together under the fluorescent lights, they become entrenched in an addictive rivalry. There's the starting game, the mirror game, the HR game. Lucy can't let Joshua beat her at anything, especially when a huge promotion comes up for grabs. Finally, she's going to destroy the man she can't seem to get out of her office. The man taking up far too much space in her head. The man she hates. Or does she? Perhaps the real games have only just begun. Now a major motion picture. So this one should be very good. Okay. It's ingrained. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Arthur Schopenhauer. This was $2. On the suffering of the world. Throughout history, some books have changed the world. They have transformed the way we see ourselves and each other. They have inspired debate, dissent, war, and revolution. They have enlightened, outraged, and provoked ideas. Schopenhauer's perception of the importance of art, morality, and self-awareness in a blind struggle against the godless, meaningless world radically transformed our understanding of the individual and remains a searing vision of the human condition. $2. Look at that, that is just so amazing. $2. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. He just wanted a decent... Okay, that one, not that one. Out of his smoke-filled rooms in Baker Street stalks a figure to cause the criminal classes to quake in their boots and rush from the dens of inquity. The 12 mysteries gathered in this first collection of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson's venture reveal the brilliant, consulting detective at the height of his powers. Problems involving a man with a twisted lip, a fabulous blue carbuncle, and 5 orange bibs tax Sherlock Holmes' intellect alongside some of his most famous cases. Honestly, I'm not looking forward to this. She's thick. I love books so much. I had planned to get this one in Spanish, but no. I decided against it. So this is a Charles Dickens Bleak House. It's one of his biggest books. So One great principle of the English law is to make business for itself. Jaundice and Jaundice is an infamous lawsuit that has been in process for generations. Nobody can remember exactly how the case started, but many different individuals have found their fortunes caught up in it. Esther Summerson watches as her friends and neighbours are consumed by their hopes and disappointments with the proceedings. But while the intricate puzzles of the lawsuit are being debated by lawyers, other more dramatic mysteries are unfolding that involve heartbreak, lost children, blackmail, and murder. Murder, murder, murder. This was $4. I just want to prove it to you guys. You can see. $4. And it's in like outstanding condition, really. Can you read the writing is so small? Oh my god. No one has that much to say. I've never read a Charles Dickens book before, which is sort of surprising actually. They're all like philosophy. There's really fun ones. In Search of Authenticity from Kierkegaard to Camus. Problems of Modern European Thought. That's loud. Can authenticity be a viable ethical norm, or is it merely a romantic ideal? Personal authenticity is out of fashion amongst analytic philosophers, yet Kierkegaard, excuse all my pronunciation, yet Kierkegaard, Nietzsche, Heidegger, Satire, and Camus are clearly preoccupied by the theoretical and practical viability. In this study, Jacob Coulomb illuminates the writings of these philosophers in an attempt to explain their particular ethical stance on the subject. Coulomb reveals his own passionate commitment to the quest for authenticity. He argues that existentialism, a term he feels misused, is all the most pertinent and relevant today when set against the general disillusionment when characterizes the mood of the late 20th century. This book would prove invaluable reading for students and teachers of philosophy, literature, and education, and indeed for anyone who has ever empathized with Camus' Meursault, the Dismetu, or Nietzsche's Zarathustra. So, like, this was $5. It's not too thick. It's actually pretty perfect. So this one is a keep, as they all are. Okay. Okay. This will either be really, really good or really, really bad. That's the analysis I give you. I have seen it everywhere though. On Equilibrium, John Ralston Saul explains how different qualities to give us the intelligence, self-confidence, and practical ability to think and act as responsible individuals. He argues, however, that when certain human qualities are worshipped in isolation, they become weaknesses, even forces of destruction or self-destruction. In short, they become ideologies. How then can we use our qualities as positive positive forces in our own lives and the life of our society. How can we use them so that each builds upon the other in order to reinforce us as humans? Sales response is balance. On Equilibrium is an intelligent, persuasive, and controversial exploration of the essential qualities of humanity and how they can be used to achieve equilibrium for the self and to foster an ethical society. It is at once an attack on our weakness for ideologies and a manual for humanist action. It is illogical, compelling, and humane successor to Saul's best-selling trilogy. Hopefully it is not overhyped. This is $3. The Myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus. There is but one truly serious philosophical problem, and that is suicide. Inspired by the myth of the man condemned to ceaselessly push a rock up a mountain and watch it roll back to the valley below, the myth of Sisyphus transformed 20th century philosophy with its impassioned argument for the value of life in a world without a religious meaning. Therefore, Albert Camus was an atheist. And this is probably one of his most famous books. He wrote definitely a few really good. But I need to decide whether or not I highlight and annotate these books because they were very, very cheap. And the idea is that you read them and since it's not in the best quality, then you donate them back the next year and then someone else buys them for the same sort of price. So with these books, I'm happy to donate them back, but I was like, a select few I might want to keep and highlight instead. Do you know this man? He is a Greek philosopher, Plato. One could argue the most well-known philosopher of all time. Or one could argue that's Socrates. No, I'm gonna go Plato. This is his first and probably most famous book, The Republic. On Sensibly, a discussion of the nature of justice, it lays before us Plato's vision of the ideal state, covering a wide range of topics: social, educational, psychological, moral, and philosophical. It also includes the process, some of Plato's most important writings on the nature of reality and the theory of the forms. Plato is critical of Athenian democracy, which has been responsible for the execution of his teacher and friend Socrates, and his political ideas as expressed in the Republic started lines of thought which are still relevant today. A famous book sitting at $3. That's right. So Socrates taught Plato, who taught Aristotle. I'm pretty sure Aurelius was taught by Aristotle. pretty good condition. Pretty good condition. The Secret History by Donna Todd. Under the influence of the charismatic classics professor, a group of clever, eccentric misfits and elite New England college discover a way of thinking and living that is a world away from the humdrum existence of their contemporaries. But when they go beyond the boundaries of normal morality, their lives are changed profoundly and forever. This is a very, very, very commended book. Very highly commended. I would like to see if it's worth the read. But I think I'll keep this copy. This was $5. Biology. Displays the human body very, very well. This would typically cost, I would say, like, it's full color and everything. It's $5. Yeah. So you got like the bones, and it's got all the bones labeled, and all the writing about it. Highly detailed and perfect for school. Okay, we have this big one. General Organic and Biochemistry. Massive textbook. $7. Shocking. Last but not least, I'm most excited, I think, with this book. The Theory of Morals: An Introduction to Ethical Philosophy. Now, let's remove this boring cover, which is just a piece of paper. It's a fabric book. The pages are like rifled and like stapled in like different lengths, and $3. 1930. No, first edition's 1928. And it's Theory of Moral with a little crest, but the back and the front is just empty. And it's like really like rustic there. Very good vibes. I'm just anyway, thank you so much for being here today. That was my book haul, and just imagine 3 other books that I don't have on me. But in a total that was $63. So I think that was like amazing saves. I can't wait for